Hi, folks. Recently, the Republicans had their shorts in a knot because of a federal regulation that would require all employers offering health insurance to offer policies that would pay for contraception. This meant that the Catholic Church and organizations like it would be required to offer their employees, be prepared to be shocked, access to free contraception. A clear assault on religious freedom as the Republicans rumbled into their beards. Closer to home here in Washington, we just got done with a court case which threw out a state law that required pharmacies to stock and dispense the morning after pill. Apparently, there were some religious pharmacists who didn't want to have anything to do with this pill. They frankly thought it was a way of chemical abortion. And for religious reasons, they simply didn't want to sell the stuff. Well, the courts actually sided with them, saying that it was an abridgment of their religious freedom to require it. This leaves me to wonder about right-wing hypocrisy and what new absurdities all this talk of religious freedom is going to produce. Religious belief is a wide and varied thing. Warren Jeffs, leader of a polygamous cult, is now in jail because his reading of the Bible says that a man is required to have more than one wife. He believes that a woman is prepared to be married when she starts menstruating. And if that's 12 or 13 years old, well, that's when she should be married. And finally, he believes that he has the divine insight to be able to determine who should marry whom. Here in Seattle, recently, a number of Somalian drivers were fired by the rental car company they worked for because they wanted to pray 5 times a day on the company payroll. I clearly remember cases in the past where parents of sick children, parents who believe in the power of prayer and did not believe in the science of medicine, had denied their children medical care. When the children died, they were brought up on manslaughter charges. In all these cases, the Republicans, both nationally and locally, were silent. I guess it all depends on which religion is being trampled on. Apparently, these people, who are clearly having their religious rights abridged, did not constitute a significant voting bloc, and therefore the Republicans really didn't have to do anything to raise any kind of issue about the whole thing. If we as a society are truly going to embrace religious freedom as an absolute value, where the hell is it going to lead? Are we going to institute laws allowing fundamentalist doctors to deny treatment to homosexuals and unwed mothers? Will ambulance drivers be able to pick and choose who they'll pick up, who they'll deliver to the hospital? Will we allow fundamentalist parents to beat their disobedient children to death? Will we allow fundamentalist parents to deny their sick children modern medical attention because they believe in the power of prayer? Are we going to allow fundamentalist parents to homeschool their children So those children are never going to be exposed to modern science, the modern scientific method, and essentially are going to grow up ignorant and incapable of even operating in the modern technological world. Are we going to allow Muslims, and there's more and more of them in America every day, to have the 4 wives that their religion allows? Are we going to stand by while they cut people's hands off and stone adulterers to death, as Sharia law permits? Talk about a negative effect on military unit cohesion. What are we going to do when every soldier's religious beliefs trumps the commands of his officers? What happens when we have to fight a battle on the Sabbath and all the fundamentalist Jews and all the Seventh-day Adventists or whoever decide that they should be resting and they can't really fight on the Sabbath? Well, perhaps I'm being silly. The point is that there are certain occupations that require a sense of duty that trumps religious belief. And if in good conscience you cannot carry out the duties that these occupations require, perhaps you should just go into a different line of work. Internationally, we are engaged in a war with a bunch of people whose religious belief is that they should conquer and rule the entire world, that they should institute Sharia law. I doubt very much if anybody in the Republican Party is going to stand up for their religious freedom or for the religious freedom of the inmates of Guantanamo Bay. The blunt truth is that we suppress religious freedoms here at home all the time. A pluralistic democratic society cannot function otherwise. People of strong religious faith know they are right. They are the enemies of democracy. What the majority votes on or what the majority believes is beside the point, if those beliefs differ from those of the religious fanatic. They are right and everybody else is wrong. Doesn't matter how many people there are. If tomorrow 99% of the American public voted in favor of gay marriage, the religious conservatives would completely ignore it. It's not like they're going to say, okay, it's been to a vote, that's fine. No. It was wrong before the vote. It'll be wrong after the vote. My wife points out that there is a difference between religious belief and religious practice. I would have to say that I believe there is an absolute freedom of religious belief. I think there's an absolute freedom to believe whatever you want. You can think whatever you want. But I have to say strongly that I think there needs to be restrictions on religious practice. I think there has been in the past, there will be in the future, for a very practical reason. Religious beliefs, the range of religious beliefs are very wide, and many of those beliefs are at best ridiculous and at worst evil. And to say otherwise is just the Republicans pandering to the fanatics in order to gain a few more votes. That's how desperate they are. That's how willing they are to undermine democracy just to get back in power. Thanks for watching. Bye.